What is going on, beloveds? How's everybody doing? Hope everybody's well. Just wanted to kind of continue on what I was doing before I head out. Give you guys a much more updated. I didn't get all of my news stats like I wanted to. Had a busy day, but definitely wanted to keep y'all updated with what was going on real quick. Uh, I'll be able to have this much more refined and thoroughly where you're getting up to date access to everything that I have possession of. So there's so much going on around the world that I need everybody to just be aware of. So at least for now, I'm just getting the wheels running, getting everybody tapped back in. But let me get you back up to where I was at yesterday and finish with that because we got stuff to talk about. So, haha, point your finger, point that king finger. But yeah, it's a it's a lot of finger pointing and finger wagging. Everybody's doing. That's the video we ended off with yesterday, where JD Vance said that he wants to kick everybody out of America. You're in my country. Get out. So yeah, that was a thing. Yeah, so he just wants to come in Gestapo, knock on everybody's door, look at your paperwork, and sell you one of his old used vacuums. So just be mindful of what the play is trying to be again. So we're not worried about it. All praise to the Most High. You know,
And multiple families displaced following a house explosion in Harford County. Fire and EMS crews were called to a home on Arthur Woods Drive in Bel Air for a reported gas leak. A short time later, that house exploded. Utility workers with BG&E were already in that neighborhood to check on an electrical problem nearby. Investigators say one of the workers was killed in the explosion. A 73-year-old believed to be the homeowner was also killed in the blast. A neighbor was hurt but is expected to recover. That
it's just destroying everything that you guys have ever worked that hard for. Like you cannot, like, the car is gone. The mattress, you can't sleep. There's nothing in there that's salvageable. They had a whole bunch of stuff in that house. That had to have been a big old house for you to be able, but everything is gone. That's a nice little caddy for the, so and it's just a lot of arson going on. It's a lot of people who you may have had beef with, and people got ops. People got old ops. You a 70-year-old old op, man. You got super beef going on for years. You've been holding on to that. You've been holding on to that constipated turd for quite some time. To be now releasing it, but you got people who do not love thy neighbor and who are attacking thy neighbors and who are doing very heinous, evil things to thy neighbors. So, yeah, it is definitely going down in a way that nobody was expecting.
Brazil are still trying to determine what caused a plane to crash outside of the city of Sao Paulo Friday, killing all 62 people on board.
So far, only a handful of those people have actually been identified. Among the victims, a mother of 3, a pharmacist traveling to visit family, teachers at a local university, and the crew of the plane. Dramatic video shows the plane falling from the sky Friday. Flight tracking data shows that it dropped 17,000 feet in just 1 minute.
And those are all, they had so many professionals on that plane. People that were of prominence, that people that were supposedly doing stuff. Now, we don't know what they were trying to do, but the Holy Spirit has spoken and judgment has been casted to where a plane falls directly, drastically down. And so, I believe they said like 24 bodies were recovered, 2 identified as the crew, but a lot of those people that were on there were people of prominence that were on their way to go do something. And they got brought to a complete halt right in the sky, like, bow. So you're seeing this happening so much with the activations, and it's picking up, it's ramping up. The 888 portal, these things are not playing anymore. None of these, you're not paying attention to the times. You ain't noticed what's going on in the last 4 years. People just still going about their life in the hustle and bustle, oblivious and stuff like that. Non-playable characters, not paying attention, and then out of nowhere, a plane drops out of the sky. So just be aware of everything around you, because that's the life it is right now.
WKRN.com alert desk. This morning, a helicopter crashes onto a roof of an Australian hotel, killing the pilot. Hundreds of guests and staff of DoubleTree by Hilton Hotel were evacuated after the helicopter crashed into the building. The hotel sits on the waterfront boardwalk, a popular hotspot with travelers in the North Queensland city. The pilot and sole occupant of the helicopter was pronounced dead at the scene. No other injuries were reported.
They are just falling out of the sky.
Is investigating a house explosion. Right now, we know the explosion sent a man who lived there to the hospital.
Our Lydia Fielder is live out there for us tonight. Lydia, what more have you learned tonight?
Well, Maria's Tracy, police and fire just left, so it's a little bit dark, but crews just finished off taping off the house behind me that exploded Sunday afternoon, sending neighbors running to help save the people who lived inside. When people who live near St. Michael's Lane in Smyrna heard this sound, many ran down the street to find this scene. A home partially collapsed, engulfed in flames, its garage door blown across the street.
The house looked like it'd been hit with a bomb.
Ronnie Cannon lives across the street from the home.
And I haven't heard an explosion like that since I was training in the service.
He says the elderly man who lives inside with his wife and dog was working on his gas water heater when it exploded around 4 p.m. Sunday. He says once that happened, neighbors came from all directions to help, saying 2 young men ran into the burning home to
Get a professional.
save that homeowner.
The way the courage that those guys had going in there, they had to go up the steps to get.
Why does he look like a hedgehog? A Sonic.
Hit him.
While police and fire arrived, video shows neighbors working to help get the man's wife and dog to safety as well. The man was taken by ambulance to the hospital, Ronnie says, with severe burns. Amazed that, at least at the time, everyone inside survived.
Look at that. There's absolutely no reason to think anybody could have walked out of that and lived.
Police and fire worked for hours to.
He was able to walk out and live because he was an example for the rest of y'all to look at. You're not going to be able to rest. You're not going to be able to be comfortable. You're not going to be able to just chill and relax. You're going to be up and moving and panicky and paranoid and just completely occupied and overwhelmed. And it's going to be a very hard struggle for you to even keep up, because you've been sitting on the couch eating a lot of Pop Pockets and potato chips. So you are out of shape. Every one of them people is out of shape. You're not getting up and doing it on a regular. You got a bike there, but ain't used it. He was able to walk away so that man could be stuck with that on his mind and taking up his mental real estate. Imagine how many distractions have taken up these people's mental real estate to where, just completely reactive, instinctively reactive to anything around you.
Extinguish the fire and piece together what happened, while people process what they just went through to try and save their neighbor.
Yep. Do you love that neighbor? A flag, all you guys coming together. Go ahead, You're going to be occupied and busy.
We've examined the changing landscape in college sports. We've looked at NIL, the transfer portal, the house settlement, and the potential impact of revenue sharing, good and bad.
The fact that they even said anything is bad. Every one of these WUs, predominantly white universities who have come into the ghettos, the hoods, the urban communities, and have grabbed up all the way down from the Negro Leagues. You have scouted and scrounged up every single one of our greats to come to your place to be representation under your establishments when we could have had our own, and we did have our own, but when we did have our own, y'all didn't like us having our own. And what you do, you Black Wall Street us. So with all of that said, all of the good that came to every single one of these high schools and colleges and pros, all of you who have ever played sports at a collegiate level, high school, collegiate level, and professional level, you have not received your full market value truly. All the way from the Jim Brown era up until now, the amount of money they have made off of your is heartbreaking. I need y'all to understand how much money that y'all have missed out on. To where these people have like intimidated and polarized and made you capitulative to, oh, you have to join my school. If you don't, we're gonna. And it's crazy because there's just such a polarizing politics involved. Like if you don't join and they sabotage you in so many different ways. You know how many people just never got a chance to make it or rise because they may have not agreed with wanting to be or partake. Look at Colin Kaepernick. He's been out of NFL for 7 years, and now he's getting a head nod to at least come back. After all that man went through, elite player, and even for whatever he was looking to stand up for, and it was only a knee. He was standing up for a knee. He was kneeing for people to stand up. And every single one of you guys took all of that out of context and completely dropped the ball on what the message was. You attacked the messenger. You castrated, you ostracized, you vilified, you did everything to make sure that man didn't have an opportunity to even breathe. And lo and behold, he gets an opportunity, whether it's with the Chargers or another team that's even scouting to look for an actual good, great quarterback, because he went to the Super Bowl, people. He was an elite player. And every single one of you guys that have put on a jersey all the way from USC all the way to Yale, I need y'all to understand that these people have made so much money off of your contributions. You didn't even have to contribute. They're lucky to have you guys. And I need you to understand what I just said. They are lucky. They are lucky to even have your energy in those facilities. The thousands of basketball games that have happened, the thousands of football games that have gone on, all the money that has been made off of your name on the back of that jersey, whether individually or collectively as a team. The universities have always just thrown in your face saying that, no, you're here for just educational purposes, but we're here to monetize your time here while you can't monetize. It's a horrible negotiation, people. I know that you love your sports, but it's a sports business, just like the music business. It's music and business. Everybody loves to dribble the ball or catch the ball. But if you're not getting your true value to where you, after you finish playing the game and catching everything, having a game of your life, and you come back and your rent and your light bill is cut off. Look how many WNBA players have to go to work a regular 9 to 5 job after they play. Look at the Olympics, the amount of people that, look how much money got made off of you in the Olympics. Not every person that was there even had an opportunity to be able to, be sponsored or have any there was no financial incentives. I understand that this is a global event where we test the athletics of people from all over the world to see who is the strongest, smartest, fastest, whatever. But the people who make all that money is the people at the top of that IOC. So we have to look at all of these branches of business and enterprises on how much they make to even keep. Once you're in there, once you sign those deals, once you commit to those schools, once you commit, you verbally handshake to these schools, putting on the cap, on the hat. I'm committing to such and such. You make money for them and then they take money from you at the same time. You got to pay for school and you got to be at an elite level. They have been doing this to every athlete since the beginning. They have made millions and billions of dollars on the back, and there's no reciprocity. There's no kickback. There's no ability to keep you involved or harnessed into the process to make the things better. Because if you were eating and winning, hey, I think there'll be an opportunity to where you have alumni coming back or previous students and athletes. But just like this man is right here on this news station, getting paid to play, to getting paid to showcase you this information, you should be getting paid to showcase at your maximum dollar. Not no low ball negotiation. No. Whether you are playing at the highest level or playing high school or collegiate, just like they have TV shows and things are recorded, if you are being recorded, that is intellectual property that these people can put on their posters and their walls, inside of their halls, use it as promotional packages. You ain't even heard from none of them or nobody gave you permission. You didn't give permission. Your image, name, and likeness is being, taken advantage of. I can't imagine the amount of people that would have actually been able to make some money from playing, to been able to take care of their mom or their pops who was sick or something like that in the hood. A lot of people's lives could have been really changed. And these people, they maxed us. The spigot wasn't even turned on. There wasn't even a drop. At least the conversation is being talked about. Cool. This is a way long overdue conversation where you have people who are literally oodles and noodles and trying to and playing at an elite level with a coach screaming in your face, not knowing that your life outside of that court or that field is on a constant jeopardized, compromised level. I 100% agree that if you play for these establishments who are for profit, because ain't none of these schools are nonprofit, people come to see you. It's no different from a concert of an artist. Artists get the front end and the back end. Front end just to hire me. That's the deposit. Back end is getting paid at the door. You should be getting paid at the door for the people that you bring into. And if you're not, you could take your crowd somewhere else to where somebody's going to actually pay you and appreciate you. But if you're a student and you're an athlete, if you're an athlete and you're a student, you should be getting paid. This ain't no just, oh, I'm gonna just knock on, you're gonna get a full ride scholarship. The amount of money you can pay for your school, you can pay for your schooling. The amount of money you would have made without that damn scholarship is millions. I'm gonna say it again. You, with that scholarship, could have made more without it than you with it. Because the moment that you are under it, you're hamstringed. Start working on your freedom. Because either you're going to realize you're in the bear trap or you're going to get out the bear trap. Yeah, you may lose your leg, but you're no longer in that bear trap. It's okay. We all learn lessons. We all make mistakes. This is a mistake that has been happening for a long time, and it's not on, it's not on us, but it's on you if you don't educate yourself about these things and understand and see that it's common sense right in front of you. Hey, why am I, even if you got a full ride scholarship and they still giving you the squeezing of the bare minimum, it's not like you all the way taken care of. You are in charge of your own money. You don't need them facilitating it. You need to get your ass educated on it and have your money in your wallet, not in that college wallet, because that college is going to pay Peter to rob Paul and use your money, whatever you had, to go and line the pockets of the other people.
As the framework for a new NCAA model comes together, many in college athletics are raising their voices about what needs to be important in the new system beyond money. It's our paid-to-play series finale, searching for...
There's nothing else beyond the money but the money. That's what it's all about, is the money.
Solutions.
Second and goal from around the 15. Daniels wants to take off,
He's paying the play.
with real estate.
After years of litigation and turmoil, college athletics are heading into a new era where players will get paid and the NCAA must decide what it wants to be.
It is an opportunity to do like legacy defining work. I want to make sure that there are other young men and women who can be student athletes and get what I feel like is so beneficial.
As the NCAA awaits court approval of the House settlement, talks are underway about how to create a new dynamic model.
I made my choice. This season, I will be drinking Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream.
One that allows athletes to participate in revenue sharing and profit off their name, image, and likeness, but still maintains the core tenets of the collegiate experience.
Even with NIL, we are not professional sports. Even with the transfer portal, we are not professional sports. Now, having said that, there are some things that I think as an industry we need to do to ensure that if I tell you that we are an education first enterprise, you don't start laughing, right? Like, people need to graduate.
Stressing the student athlete could prove challenging. In March, the Dartmouth men's basketball team voted to unionize after a National Labor Relations Board director ruled they were employees who often exceed the maximum 20-hour activity limit. Dartmouth appealed that ruling to the full NLRB with the support of university presidents across the country.
I'm quite sure that all of these students would have been able to be well off and been happy and not tripping, would have actually been more assertive, attentive, participatory in the whole process of them graduating by their own damn self. The problem is too many governments or politics or anything like that try to be government zaddy and be too overly possessive and controlling of that. You don't know how to handle your money. You don't know how to handle your life. just the extra sauce about it. I'm quite sure if a lot of people didn't have to worry about financial issues and starting out and having the Kickstarter, because they're 18 years old. You're 18 years old. You already have an issue with underage working laws. That's fine. There's an even thinner line where you have that involved with underage minors making money, I guess. But hey, you got Nickelodeon. So make this make sense, people. You have to make it make sense.
Who view athletics as part of a student's educational program, just like theater, dance, or other activities.
I think it's a mistaken model because they actually are getting benefits from attending a university. They're not just hired hands. If you're a student athlete and you go down the employee route, well, in a right to work state, it means you could get fired at any time. So you have a bad game, you're out of there. I don't think it's in the student athlete's interest or the university's interest.
NCAA officials say the majority of athletes surveyed do not want to be employees. But there's a growing belief they deserve a seat at the negotiating table, with a need to iron out details about NIL rules and regulations, player contracts, and perhaps even checks on the now unlimited transfer portal.
I would like to see some sort of collective bargaining, but that's easy for me to say. Who are we collective bargaining with? So does Conference USA do its own collective bargaining agreement with students and student athletes, and who are their representatives? Or do we do a FBS collective bargaining agreement? So the devil's really in the details.
He's got it. Michigan barrels in.
The most
young men and women
detail
out there,
in the
they are
wake of
trying
the
to
House
push your
settlements
parents
is
out
how
of the
schools plan
equation,
to
so you do
distribute.
not have the true guidance of your foundation. Start getting manipulated and coerced into all of these different directions and pulled into these compartmentalizations of what they think they desire, of what they think they can have for you. What do you want? What do you need? What you need is to be able to have the security. Yes, you may be on the losing team, but hey, you're a gig worker. That is your job. You are 18 years old. Those are thousands of people who are showing up to that building to come see y'all perform. Now, based on the contingency of you performing, it's incentivized with monetary compensation. Sure. Whoever wins takes the bag. Fight for it all. And that will bring out the best competition in me and everybody else. Respectfully, not by no cheating. If it becomes that, then yeah, you need to enforce the most extreme cheating and doping penalties of all time. You are not finna mess up what we're trying to create right now to get you guys paid. And if you want to sit here and cut corners, there is no corner cutting to greatness and righteousness. The dollar is nothing but a tool for the ministry that you're displaying on the field, on the court. This is not a time for you to be thinking that it's sneaky and manipulative and thinking that you can be cutting corners and thinking that this is a come up. What you guys are establishing and doing right now is unprecedented. You have to think about the decades of people that played before you that have never had this type of conversation even happen. So do not take this for granted. Do not take these opportunities that are given to you, young men and women. This is an opportunity for you guys to showcase what your greatness, what your legacy is going to be profoundly. You guys don't need to be out here scheming and scamming and thinking that you're supposed to just get privileged. That's what the baby boomers and the other generations got. You work hard to ultra legitimize, to show that you are undeniable in what you do, whether it's on the field, on the court, in the books, in your business, in your success, in the way you carry yourself. This is a challenging of the moral compass that you have to be able to be monetarily compensated for your gifts and talents. But this is a humility check at the same time, because no one man should have all that power. And if you're given all that power and all that money and success and fame, I'm quite sure it will go all to your head, because your ego is your amigo. You got everybody around you saying, yes, man, yes, woman, pumping your head up, saying you're the greatest of all time. Whosoever is not humble shall stumble. You will fall from grace. You are not the first. And when it happens, look for it and embrace it, because you deserve it, because you allowed your ego and your pride to overtake and not utilize this platform, this moment in time to be able to catapult this atmosphere into a new era. You guys are the new pioneers for this. This has never been done, where students can get paid. Athletic students can finally get paid for the work that they do on and off the fields. So it is a beautiful thing that we are seeing this.
Money to athletes under a new revenue sharing model. Beginning next year, schools can pay up to 22% of the average Power Conference school's revenue directly to their athletes, a figure that will start.
That's why you need to know what the numbers are. That's why you need to know that's why y'all need to be involved in the whole business of whatever school you're going to. You need to be involved in all the business. Where's all of that money going to? You need that's why you need unions, or you need representatives to be able to facilitate these things. So you're not just worried about where they just like, oh, don't worry about the numbers. You just need to worry about dribbling. You just need to shut up and dribble. Nah. Y'all need to know these numbers. Y'all need to know these percentages. Where is all of this going to? This is a pipeline. This is a type of mentality that has been it's been recycled over and over again in every industry and everything like that to just deflect you. Look over here while we're doing this over there.
At about $23.1 million in 2025 and is expected to grow to nearly $33 million over the next 10 years. The prevailing theory is that money will need to be distributed evenly to men and women to comply with Title IX. But with between 90 and 95% of all revenue coming from football and men's basketball, some believe that the athletes in those sports are deserving of a bigger share.
There's a massive disparity between the money brought in via certain programs compared to the money brought in via other programs, and that disparity can sometimes be based on the difference between men's and women's sports, sometimes the difference between sports. I don't know that there's enough certainty out there to avoid that litigation, and so I think it's something we're just going to find out.
NCAA President Charlie Baker has testified multiple times in front of Congress about the legal issues facing his organization. The desire to stay out of court and come up with a framework that works for everyone is why SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey.
Where's all the money that y'all made prior to all of this talk? You see what I'm saying? Y'all should have a humongous piggy bank. Why all these industries always act like they ain't got no damn money? Why all these people always act like they ain't got no damn money? Y'all been making money. Coca-Cola been making money for a long time. Apple's been making money for a long time. NCAA has been making money. March Madness, SEC, especially SEC. Y'all been making money off the backs of these young black men and women. And now that people is actually speaking up, you want to sit there and lowball us. Oh, we'll give you $2 billion. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Dallas Cowboys are worth $10 billion. Really way more than that. But I need y'all to understand that these people hate you. And they don't want to give you nothing. They don't want to give you nothing. This is Mad Max right here. And if they can keep the spigot off, they will keep the spigot off. I need you to realize and recognize that part.
He included a call for federal legislation on college sports in his remarks at Media Days last month.
My ask again is that Congress continue not only to engage in conversation, but help with us resolve some of these outstanding issues and restore clear national standards for college athletics. And I'm actually the voice of our student athletes because they have said over and over, we deserve better than to have a patchwork of state laws that tell us how to manage our name, image, and likeness.
Exactly.
And we as student athletes want to know when we line up for a kickoff, tip-off in a basketball game, first pitch in a softball or baseball game, that the people occupying the other uniforms are governed by the same set of standards governing us.
Whether the solution comes from Washington, D.C. or from within the membership, competitive fairness, access to championships.
It has never been competitive because they're competing against you. They're not going to treat you fair. You put in all that work, and then you're looking at it like, damn, this shit don't mean nothing. I ain't gonna be able to feed my mama with this. This is going into their building. What the hell am I gonna get after this? What is it for you after this? This guy is gonna be taken care of. What is it for all of you young brothers and sisters? He's clamoring on it because that's all you worked so hard for it, but you're gonna have to let that go because it was never yours in the first place. You voluntarily sacrificed and worked your ass off to give them that. What did you give yourself? A moment in time where you're gonna reflect back, hindsight, and look back like, damn, we should have got paid for that. Damn. I need y'all thinking, man. I need y'all really thinking, man.
And protecting the educational and athletic opportunities of all student athletes.
Education is always protected. You'll never run out of education. They keep trying to play this education thing. See, all these systems got to all fall, and it will. The moment you separate and segregate away from all that because of the simple fact that assimilation and aggregating ourselves within all of these confined systems, you become in the rat race of a bear trap.
Athletes remain the NCAA's top priority.
We need to be making statements like, this is what we believe, this is what college athletics should be about, and this is our future. And then sell it.
There are still more questions than answers about the future in the new paid-to-play system. Some believe
these people are not going to fight for it. Athletic directors are not going to fight for it. Coaches are not going to fight for it. Why? Because they would be damn jealous if somebody got paid more than them. Being working there for 10 years, got a 4-year contract, and your players are making 10 times the money you're making. Aren't you supposed to create the space and the atmosphere for these student athletes, athletic students to be able to excel? That's generationism and nepotism. That is a narcissistic white supremacist system if I ain't never seen one. With a simple fact that you don't have not one coach speaking up on it. Not no Calipari, not no Nick Saban. None of these coaches. None of them. None of them are waving a flag and advocating for this to happen. They sit here and come to your house, sit in front of your mama, see all the calamity and atrocities that's going on in your life. Oh, I can take care of it for you. Don't worry. I'm here. I'm here to save the day. And leave you with nothing. Leave you with nothing. All these establishments are all still something. And you don't even have you don't have any particular vested interest, not no shares, it ain't no athletic trust. Got to be passed down. It should be a collective athletic trust put in place that, hey, any athletes that have played here, hey, collectively, your stuff gets monetized, whether it's an NFT, a highlight, getting played on ESPN, because they always using everybody's stuff, top 10, whatever. You should be able to get a residual check for that, a royalty check. If you have highlights, if you have a basis, if you're a loser team, yeah, sure, you probably get the bare minimum because, you lost comparison to the team who won. If you win, you deserve the spoils. You deserve the spoils fairly. If you cheat, you should be banned for life, forever, never, zero tolerance. But these systems have to fall apart. Why? Because this is not even a part of this is not our system we didn't put in place. So what are they doing? They're fighting tooth and nail to keep you from even getting any, and they're just trying to wait you out and exhaust you out. This is where you must stand firm. This is where you must stand firm.
The potential value of future media rights in football will cause the biggest, most prestigious programs to break away and form their own top-tier division to cash in. But for others, the true value in college sports goes way beyond the money. To the games.
To the free throw line, up and under, lost it, throws it up, got it!
The student athletes.
That ball is hit deep to left field. Is it enough? It is!
And the experiences that last a lifetime.
From 40, on the way, a knuckleball. He got it!
It's why they're doing everything they can to preserve the good in college sports, even if amateur athletes are a thing of the past.
I'm confident that we'll be able to weather the storm. Still a lot of issues that are out there, but I think
it's no issue. Cut that check. Simple as that. Cut the check.
If you had asked anyone 2, 3, 4 years ago whether or not we had reached to this point, very few people would have said we would. We have. So there's hope.
The success of the new model rests largely on these two things. Can they come up with a framework that can hold up in court and keep the NCAA out of those expensive lawsuits that have plagued it in recent years? And can they pay players up to $23 million next year and avoid the cuts to the non-revenue sports that so many fear? One big question that needs to...
You just take the cuts from the profit that you make. That's what you do. The profits that you make, all the advertising dollars, and they will bring in more advertisers in the first damn place, for one. The cut at the door. I need you to understand, beloved brothers and sisters, that you are getting fought. This is a war. Every time you step outside, it's a complete war on anything and everywhere you go. Your energy is trying to get extracted from you in all capacities. I'm gonna leave it right there and come back to this, because I feel like this is a definite, very powerful and profound conversation that needs to be even delved in more. But I just want my young brothers and sisters out there who are in athletics, get counsel, whether it's counsel here or anywhere else, but get the proper counsel and keep your eyes aware and alert on what's going on out there in the world, because you're getting taken advantage of. These elders, these polarizing institutions that have been around traditionally for decades, hundreds of years, they know the games, they know the rules, and they're willing to implement them and enforce them without telling you nothing, without bringing you in on any part of it. So I need y'all to understand that this is some evil stuff going on. We'll be back with what's going on. What is going on, beloveds?